What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lady Scrap. You know your favorite. I moved from the West Side Fruits. And I mean, this is the homie, but it ain't the homie. I don't know. I don't
Oh
even know how to
wow.
say it because you are, but you not. You know, when I say that, I don't want them to just automatically think you from the hood. You know what I mean when I
Yeah,
say that?
yeah.
So
I feel you.
I'm really thinking. That's crazy. Would you say you the homie? How would you word it?
I mean, we could be homies from different sides of the from different sides. You from the west, I'm from the east. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No harm, no foul.
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
you gang affiliated though?
No, I'm a civilian nowadays. I'm a father of two.
Come on, civilian nowadays. I love the nowadays. Nevertheless, introduce yourself to the people.
I am Maybach Mal 1804, big on the 1804. You heard?
That's what the that's the zip code, area code. What's going on with the 1804?
Well, the 1804 is the year that you know Haitians took their independence. You know what I'm saying? First,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. So it runs deep. It's a deep thing. I mean,
right.
deep, real deep. Yeah, yeah,
No harm, no foul.
yeah.
And
No
Maybach, how
harm, no
you get
foul.
the Maybach on there?
The Maybach is how I got that name.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, the fly shit is when you get named by the people. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Okay.
When you get named by the people, yes, it's more official. It's authentic. Um, it holds weight when the people name you. So how that happened was around early 2000s. This is when Maybachs were, made, right? They
Okay.
used to be made, but then they came back around that time, right? With the
Okay.
new design and all of that, whatever have you. So I actually rented one on an outing down in Miami, and
Mm-hmm.
like you said, the homies, the ladies, everybody was like, yo, that's Maybach in the Maybach. That's Maybach Mel. And boom, it just stuck. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
added the 1804 to it because, I'm American born, but, my parents are from Haiti. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? They migrated to, Boston, Mass. For those that, because a lot of people think I'm from New York, but nah, we got a different accent out here. We got the Bobby Brown rendition accent.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Because
But yeah.
saying that, I definitely would feel like, yeah, I hear it, especially with you repping East Coast and not being specific at first. I would be like,
Uh-huh.
oh, okay, yeah, automatically just thinking New York is it. But as you kept talking, it was like, okay, maybe
Uh-huh.
I do hear a little.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to use that word. And then I thought about it like, should I compare him to the white people? Because I was going to say the Wahlberg. You know what I mean? Then I'm like,
Yeah.
So I was hesitant on that. Nevertheless, yeah, I do hear something different. We should
Yeah,
just go
yeah,
with that, you know? Um,
yeah.
so you born and raised Boston, Massachusetts.
Born and raised, I would say second home would be all over Florida except for northern Florida, more like South and Central Florida.
Oh,
Um,
where did you go to
because
school?
huh?
Where did you go to school?
Oh well, yeah, that's where I was going to get to.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school in Boston, but in my teenage years, I was wilding out,
Mm.
right? So let me take it to the root of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I was super nice in basketball. Never. I think I could have became something as far as basketball wise,
Yeah.
but it's tough. It's tough to make it to the league. I ain't gonna hold you. There's a lot of Michael Jordans that didn't make it to the league, right? So I'm not saying I was that good, but I was good. I could have probably went to JUCO, which is junior college for those that don't know. But I wanted to be in the streets. I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to be in the streets, and so I became, part of my environment, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So by me wilding out so much, I went from different schools because I was wilding out. I'm the fourth child out of five. So my parents wasn't trying to have that, them being, not from this land, So they was like, yo, we're sending you to Florida to live with your older sister. So that's how and why I say Florida's second home. So I went to school in Orlando, high school in Orlando, West Orange High. For anybody that knows about West Orange High. So I went to West Orange High, yes.
Shout out to that.
But, yeah. So that's why I say Florida's second home.
Right. Makes sense because everyone's not, is it bi-coastal? Am I wording it right?
Where, Florida?
Saying that compared to Boston, yeah, you're bi-coastal.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. Or you could say, the southern, because it was a culture shock. I ain't going to hold you.
I believe you.
Yeah, it was a culture shock. Not too much, just more like, I'll say, with the racism. I mean, Boston's racism. Yeah, so the point I want to make is being from up north on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
It's not so much in your face, but more behind your back, right?
Okay.
And so with Florida being in the deep South, it's in your face. Like, you know who your next door is. You feel what I'm saying? So the Confederate flag is posted outside, or they ride in the high pickup trucks with the flag. Yeah. So that was, when I say cultural for me, that was the shock for me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Being in my face, like 3D type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
To where you already categorize them as them K's right there, like that. Okay.
Yeah. And then me being from up north, they calling me a city boy. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And I'm not used to hearing the boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
You saw the movie. Yeah, so that's what I mean. They don't bite their tongue down south. You feel me? So, yeah.
Prior to what you saying that, and we're making it relevant for the people, did you believe, and I'm sure you did because of the 1804 emphasis, I still just got to ask, did you believe? Because, some people say seeing is believing. So with it being the culture shock, is that what it was? Like, yeah, I didn't heard of this. However, I didn't think I'd ever witness it type of situation.
That is a fact.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, fossil fact. Yeah. You know what I mean? Again, seeing it in movies, like Mississippi Burning and all that. Right. That's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing. But actually, live and direct in your face.
Yeah.
It's a whole, I'll give you a quick story. So, I was driving and, so, I'm not really paying attention to signs. So now, finally, when I am paying attention, I'm on more like gravel roads.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, okay, I'm on gravel roads. Like, hey, with the F. So anyways, long story short, I see a sign that says, private property. With like, with the warning signs all over.
Right.
So I keep going further. Yeah, I keep driving, and then boom, next thing you know, I come to a stop. I'm literally on someone's land now,
Oh, wow.
With a house. And all I heard was 12 gauge shotguns being cocked by a whole family. I'm talking about mama, daddy, brother, and sister.
No.
And it's like, boy, you don't know where you at. You didn't see them signs back there. And I said, if I'm going to live today and make it, it's going to be because of my northern accent.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's what helped me. By me opening my mouth and trying to, I already got the north accent, but I made sure I emphasized on the northern accent.
Yeah, I get you. I fully understand. Yeah, I would have too, shit, yeah. For real.
So it was like, turn around and just keep going out because we could put you on this land and they will never find you.
Right.
So I wasn't contesting anything. That wasn't the time to try to be Mr. Tough Guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I fully agree. Fully agree with that because everyone can say what they're saying as they're listening to this. And like you saying, it's a whole nother story when it's fight or flight. Like it's a whole nother story when it's right in your face for real. Because we all can judge and give an opinion on a situation we're not in until we are in it. So yeah, I get it though. For real, I get it. Especially because of where I am now. What did you want to be when you was growing up?
I wanted to be an NBA basketball player.
Did you?
Yes.
For the Celtics?
That would have been great if I got drafted by the whole team. But just making it to the league would have been great enough. But
Okay.
there is, I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a part of me that I tend to share it a lot as much as I can, but it's more for a learning tool.
Yeah.
Me being in my late 40s, I don't look like it. I always get told, yo, you don't look like you're about to be hitting the century mark.
Okay.
So this coming October I will be 50. If you had asked me, which I've been asked before, I couldn't tell you if I was even going to make it for another year because of the way I was moving out in the streets.
Okay.
I was wilding. Yeah, I was wilding. You know what I mean? No disrespect to no one who grew up with big homies and OGs.
Yeah, no, that just ain't your story.
Yeah, I didn't have big homies. I didn't have OGs. The little organization I would say that me and my homies started. We all was generals.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You couldn't just go up there and wild out. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, what I'm trying to say is the OGs that we had wasn't original gangsters. It was elders. Yeah, it was elders and people who was much older who offered us guidance.
Okay.
So the OG is that. Yeah, the OG's abbreviated to that. Or offered guidance, not original gangsters.
Right.
I'm not saying there wasn't no gangsters.
Yeah.
There was gangsters. For the most part around this time, majority of them was either not alive or they was behind bars for a long period of time. You feel what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, I feel you.
But yeah. So, I grew up in the time where there was a sense of community at one point. So if your parents was at work, the next door neighbor can keep an eye on you. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's like, boy, you're not supposed to be doing that. And stuff.
Yeah, and you minding them. You listening to them. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So, I besides the basketball thing, growing up out here in Boston, again, like I said, there was super racism. There was things happening back in the 90s when I was a teenager. So, again, moving and grooving how I was in the streets, I didn't know if I was going to live that
yeah, to even think no further than the sport. I get you.
Correct.
What makes a man a man?
What makes a man a man? I definitely can answer that question now.
Okay.
Someone who's taking care of their responsibilities. Mm-hmm. Whether it be family, whether it be your children, whether you're looking out for community. That's what I feel like. Such as kind of like I would use myself as an example.
Yeah.
I moved back home with my moms to help my mother. My mother doesn't. She's not in the best medical, health wise. I should say she has a lot of medical conditions. So me moving back when I could be living my life, doing whatever that is, I moved back at home to help her.
Okay.
So I feel like things like that, it makes me honorable. Which I'm not looking to be champion for that. That's things that we should be doing because my mom's could have threw me away or she could have just swallowed me. No pause on that. But,
come on, no pause. Talk your shit.
No pause.
Yeah, the truth is the truth. Hey,
that's a fact.
Yeah,
that is a fact.
So yeah, I get that. That's just a part of that. How do you define success?
Damn, you're asking good questions too.
Thank you.
I have answers. Yeah, I have answers. So how do I define success? I'm gonna say this, right? My godmother just passed away last week, right? And what I noticed is, and I've lost other people, like my dad. My father passed away in 2012. My mother's mother, my grandmother on that side, passed away in 2008. What I realized is, we've been fooled. We've been lied to. A lot of us measure success by jewelry, money, materialistic things. And what I learned is when someone passes away, no one really talks about Tyrone had a master's degree and a bachelor's degree. Tyrone had, 5 homes and 5 cars. No one brings that up when they at your funeral service. What they bring up is the lives that you impact in a positive manner.
Yeah.
So I will say that that's how we are measured in life. Is that, to me, that's the success. You know, I did a lot of community work, so I feel like that's something that when I'm not here, the youth that I mentor, I used to coach in Pop Warner football and basketball, AAU, will go to
Okay.
my funerals, and say, Coach Mel helped me, and change my ways, and you know what I'm saying, made me see
Yeah.
the light. That's what I feel like is success that we measured by.
Okay.
Materialistic things and all of that, I feel like those are just bonuses. Feel me? Those are just bonuses to the
Yeah.
life that we live in the physical form. But yeah,
I like
I'm
that.
big. I see you. You on your journalist-ish, man.
I'm not
We
about
can
to play
swing,
with
right?
you.
I can curse, right? I can
Yeah,
curse,
you
right?
can definitely curse.
Okay. Well, you on your
Uh-huh.
shit. You on your
Yeah.
journalist shit. I
Appreciate
see you.
it. Appreciate it,
Man.
King.
All right.
So you said you're a father of two, right? Because you didn't
Yes,
say a
correct.
dad or two. Is there a difference between father and dad, or no?
Some people say that. Some people do say there is a difference in the word. To me, I used to call my dad. I never called my dad father. I called my dad dad or daddy. You get what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
Haitians use the word papi. That's not
Okay.
just the Spanish thing or Latin thing. Yeah, correct. So a father to me just means like, you're active in your children's life. You've been there since, their mama or mother told you that she's prego. You know what I mean? She got something
Okay.
in the stomach.
Yeah, that it
Feel
was
me? So
happening. Right.
correct. Yes.
No worries. BBL or natural?
I love natural.
It was the
Natural.
first.
Yeah, natural,
It was the
definitely.
first.
BBL is just, to me, I just think that's kind of like somewhat of a fantasy thing.
Yeah.
A fat ass and all this other shit. But I take all natural because I'm from the era where the T-bars was nice and slender but looking real good.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
that type
sense.
of,
The 90s chick. Yeah, a 90s chick.
yeah.
What's the difference between loyalty and respect?
Yeah, you're asking real good questions.
I just want your opinion.
I used to say loyalty first, but
No, I said
feel
what's
like
the difference between the two?
Oh, what's the difference?
Yes.
Okay, well, someone can be loyal to you
Okay.
and not respect you, and vice versa. Someone could respect you but not be loyal to you.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? So
I do.
meaning like, okay, because I know you could contest to this, right? Somebody can say that they have respect for you, but then that same person that so-called have, respect for you, sleep with your wife or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I related it to the gang. Not like that, but like that. As soon as you answered it, I related it to the homies. So it's like, yep, I get it. I fully understand how that can go. And I worded it like that on purpose because a lot of people are used to me telling them to pick one. And it's like kind of a trick question. Like they're interchangeable, So I'm glad you made that relevant.
Go ahead. Correct. And my fault. Pardon myself for cutting your wisdom a little bit. But I feel like at the end of the day, one can't live without the other. You feel me?
Okay.
Like, so I'll break it down on this instant or example is that the moon it never competes with the sun and vice versa.
Okay.
We need both.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? We need both in our lives.
That's a good one.
So I feel like one can't live without the other. You know what I'm saying? If you're asking which one do you prefer, like you said, that's why you worded it different. Because I actually added that to my questions because you've been on my platform and it was a fire interview. People still people be hitting me up talking about you, but that we'll talk about that after the fact. But
of course.
Yeah.
Do you have a hero or a shero?
Say that one more time.
Do you have a hero or a shero, like the female hero?
Definitely I do. I never idolized or worshiped any celebrity or quote unquote famous person.
Okay.
But definitely my dad.
Okay.
and my mother.
Oh, both of
My
them.
mom, my
Okay.
mom's is still living to this day, but my dad, he ain't here. He passed away in 2012. But still, that's still my hero.
Yeah,
You
shout
know?
out to that. Right. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who am I?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I am Maybach Mel, for lack of a better word. I ain't gonna put out my government. I am
Yeah.
Maybach Mel. I am an American born / Haitian. You know, loyal person, respectful person. I try to vibrate at the highest frequency possible, which is being true to oneself, being authentic to myself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just don't do no, slime ball shit to me.
Not
Then you won't have to
slime
see the other
ball.
side. Huh?
Not slime ball.
I don't
That's
just want to say
definitely that
slime, but
Boston. That's some Boston
stay,
shit.
yeah. You know.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Oh man, I'm Michael. MJ all day.
I
Salute the Prince,
bet.
man. But yeah. I mean, I think I kind of told you that. If you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Fully
know.
aware. Out of
Okay.
your 2 children, is one a son? Do you have a son?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my son. Go ahead.
How old is too old to give your son a bath?
Well, that's funny that you say that, because I had a conversation with someone about this.
Okay.
And I actually had a conversation with their mother about this. Last time she brought them to me, she said, so my son is 9. He'll be 10 in August. My daughter turned 8 past April. So they're 2 years apart.
Okay.
So their mother, I don't use the BM word. I use the mother of my children.
No worries.
She said, Aaliyah told me you don't let her bathe herself. And I said, well, she just turned 8 years old. I said, my parents bathed me up till like 12, 13 when they knew I could properly, wash myself and clean myself. So I'm going to do the same that my parents did for me. When they reach those ages, then I'll stop. So I would say 13, 14 should be a good age. Yeah, you got some real good questions there.
And again, I asked
good.
about the son. So you saying that about your son because you use your daughter for an example. Because I know your son name ain't Aaliyah.
No.
Okay,
my son, I made both of them right now still.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
I put the body wash on. I put the body wash.
We don't need the details. I was just saying, so the people will be clear. I be wanting them to be clear, so they won't be like, well, he didn't answer. Like, all right,
I'll
he
say
did.
13, 14 for both. Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
Both genders. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. What's the difference between love and lust?
Damn, that's a good one. Difference between love and lust. Let's start with lust.
Okay.
I can go on IG and see a female that I don't know on a personal level.
Yeah.
Right? And be like, damn, I'd hit that. I feel like that's lust.
Okay.
Love to me is a deep bond and a feeling that you get for someone, right? And it could go both ways. So when I said, yo, you could love a homie, it has nothing to do with the community or on some sexual,
shout out to the community. Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to the community, man. Salute to the community. I'm not part of the community.
Right, me neither. But yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah. Correct. Their sexual orientation is not mine, but salute to them. But yeah, you could so the difference is you could lust on someone, but you don't love someone. When you love someone, I feel like the respect comes in, the loyalty comes in, and there's a connection, mentally, spiritually, and physically for that female. I would say for me, it would be a female, but I can love on the homie as well too, without the sexual part.
Right,
I can love,
like
homie,
you said.
Homie's been there since the sandbox, and he's been there through the ups and downs. He always had my back, so I can have love for the homie. Feel me? So yeah.
Now, because you have a son and a daughter, I gotta ask you this because I didn't ask people without none. But would you rather your daughter a hoe or your son gay?
Damn. I have to choose one.
You gotta. That's the question. Either or. I mean, it's hypothetical. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm a firm believer of what you put out in the universe comes, but
Oh shit.
for a lack of this interview, I would say my daughter a hoe. Hopefully she's making money. She ain't she ain't just giving it up for free. Yeah, she ain't giving it up for free.
I ain't mad at that. All right, because there it is. Is ego the same as power?
Hold on, is ego the same as what?
Power, yes, to you. Is it the same?
No, I do not feel like they're the same.
Why not?
You would like to get explained?
Please elaborate.
Ego is something that's in us, right? Male and female, we all have ego, we all have a pride. And there's a difference between pride and ego as well, too. But ego, to me, it's a feeling. Power is something that you can just have and obtain.
Yeah.
So
because everybody don't have it. I get you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually, as I'm thinking about it a little bit. That makes a lot of sense. Do men make women crazy or do women make men crazy?
Do women make men crazy or do men make women crazy?
Which one is it?
I mean, I have to. I think both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it goes vice versa because I got a lot of homegirls. They tell me some stories, and I got a lot of homies, homeboys that's telling me stories. So I feel like, we can't live without each other. We need each other. So when women are out here saying they don't need a man, I side eye them because that shit don't make no sense to me.
Not I side eye them.
Yeah, it don't make no sense to me.
I get it.
I feel like we both make each other crazy. Go ahead.
No. I was just like, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying with the side eye and I'm crazy. But yeah, you saying it go both ways in your opinion.
Yes. My opinion is we both make it. I feel like men make women crazy and women make men crazy. Don't let you have the best nana, the ill nana. Come on
shit.
now.
Not the Foxy Brown.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I'm just trying to keep it PC. You know what I mean?
Please.
Just in case,
Please.
Yeah. When being mindful. You know what I'm saying? Even though you say I could curse, I don't have to curse. I could articulate myself.
Okay.
Right.
If you ain't gotta say it, don't say it. Shout out to that.
Yeah. But I see men and women crash out.
Right.
For the
right.
Yeah. Yep.
Is date night important?
You said is date night important?
Yeah, like in a relationship. Is it important to still date your partner?
Yeah, definitely, because that's how you courted her. That's how she posed. She took a pose, and you chose, and vice versa. Sometimes
you took a pose, she chose.
You know what I'm saying? You posed, and you got chose, and you got chose for a reason. So if a female chooses me, and she could have chose anybody else, that means she chose me for a specific reason, special reason, specific reason, whatever that may be. So I feel like, I still had to court her as well, too. So, yeah, dating, like still being spontaneous. Mm-hmm. However you got her, you should continue doing that. And however she got you, she should continue. Nothing should stop. You shouldn't get complacent.
Okay.
Should never settle. Yeah, shouldn't settle and shouldn't get, we don't got to go out no more. Nah, we still should be going out. Because how you think these relationships that's been lasting for 40 years, 50 years, these are the people that I have conversations with. Hey, brother, I've been married to your wife for 40 years. I know y'all argue. Of course we argue, but, this is what we do to keep it still going for all these years. And that's real to me, and that's what that's what I want,
I do hear that, and it ain't how you worded it, but I do hear that in the sense of the response to be like, this my buddy, this my friend, this my homie, this my dog.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because there was a foundation laid down. When you building a home, or if you about to plant some fruits or some vegetables, you don't just dig the ground. You gotta make sure the soil is not contaminated, right? So those relationships that last that long, they didn't just, start dating and talk for a few days and then, started bumping and grinding. Nah, they got to know each other.
Right.
And again, to me, that's something that is lost nowadays. And what I mean by is that we're in an era where, because of technology, people feel like, a lot of people ain't really socializing, and getting to knowing one another. You knew when you knew Tyrone because you knew Tyrone's not just family, but you knew Tyrone's middle name. You know what I mean? So you really knew Tyrone. Yeah, and if you knew Tasha from the neighborhood, you really knew Tasha's family, and you really knew Tasha's middle name, if she had one or not. You knew what her favorite color was, her least favorite color, the movies, the snacks, all of that. That's
Y'all really
building
hung
a
out.
foundation.
Friends. Yeah.
Correct.
I get that.
So, yeah.
That's a good response. Would you rather take advice from the parenting coach with no kids or advice from a relationship coach that's single?
That's a hard. Let me see.
Not it's a hard one.
A parenting coach with no kids, or take advice from a relationship coach who's single.
Yes.
Damn.
Not I stumped you.
Really, yeah, you sure did.
Because you had answers. You kept saying, I got answers.
Yeah, wow. Damn, a parenting coach with no children.
So you want to come back to that?
Say that again?
You want to come back to it? You got to think about it?
Yeah, I got to think about that one.
We'll revisit. Unless you're running out of time. Let me know.
No, I'm not running out of time. We Gucci. We good.
Okay. All right. Why do men cry in jail or prison and not on the streets?
Why do men cry? Men cry in prison and not in the streets.
Like for the people. 1 second, Mel. My bad. For the people, I'm asking, why don't you men show emotion until you're incarcerated? That's really what I'm asking. I'm trying to figure out.
I'll say this. The only time I ever cried behind bars was because of my parents. I'm not making an excuse, but this is what it is.
Okay.
My parents being very old school and raised a certain way. So to give the listeners an idea, my mom's just turned 86, right? And again, she's not born in America. She was raised on an island, right? So that's super old school, right? She was born in the 1940s. So the point I'm making is why I cried while I was behind bars was because my parents told me for the first time that they loved me. That was the first time I heard it. So I knew I was loved, but I never heard it. Me and my siblings never heard it. At one point of our times in our lives, we ended up hearing it.
Yeah.
So when we heard it, we got emotional. So for me, that was the reason why I cried behind bars. Not all the time, but that's that first time during the visit.
Yeah.
And I had to I had to fucking just basically hold that emotion in because there's other inmates there at the visiting room.
Right.
And, sometimes, oh yeah, this dude's crying. They might take it as a sign of weakness or whatever.
Right.
So I had to kind of hold it in, But when I got back to my cell block, to my unit, I told my cellie, yo, give me 5-10 minutes in the cell. So I put the sheet up because sometimes when you do that, you're using the toilet. But
right.
I wasn't using the toilet. I was letting it all out because it was my first time hearing it.
Right.
On the streets, I never, and I did a live about this. I never had issues of showing my emotions or being emotional. What I learned is being emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
So the point I'm making is, I'm gonna give the example. I went to the park with my children, and they gravitated to this other kid, and they was playing with the kid. The kid was like, "Yo, let's go over there and play." So they all started running. The kid fell and scraped his knee. The father started yelling, "Stop crying! Suck it all up!" And I went to homie. I said, yo, homie, your son is a kid. That hurts him. That's stinging right now. His skin is peeled off. Because, so when I broke it down to him, he's super respected. I said, bro, you don't want him to reach a certain age because you're pounding this on him at a very young age, saying, don't cry because he just, he cut himself. He's bleeding. It stinks. He might have emotional problems. He might not know when to, So I said, you got to think about that. We don't think about these things that we do psychologically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Again, so homie, he took it with all respect and with all love because that's how I move anyways. It's always with great intentions. You know what I'm saying? So homie didn't get upset. He didn't say, nigga, this is my son. That's not the response. He took it in. Yeah, he took it in, and I could see that he processed it and was like, yo, love. He dapped me up, he embraced me and was like, yo, thank you. And, he let his son be himself and cried. So it's the same thing. I did the same mistake one time. Similar shit. My son slipped down and cried. And, I told him to stop. Some stranger seen me, pulled me to the side and gave me the same knowledge. And that's what knowledge is about. It's about spreading it because that's how you learn the wisdom from it, So I would say, yeah, like I said, I never had no issues,
Right.
Since, yeah. But
from your opinion.
As far as prison go, yeah, when I cried it's because my parents told me they loved me for the first time. I heard it, so that's why I cried. It wasn't for no other reason. Oh, my girl is cheating on. Hell no.
It's the oh hell no.
Yeah.
Do you have a message for the youth?
Oh, definitely. I know we always start off by saying stay in school. Stay in school is not for everybody.
Oh,
and again,
okay.
Because I experienced a lot, so I love to use my experience. That's why I do mentor work and stuff like that. Let me get to my spiel, and then I'll even say something too. Someone that I met from over on your coast that came out here doing gang
Come on,
prevention.
your coast. Shout out to the West Coast.
Shout out to the West Coast, the best coast, they say. You know what I mean?
That's what they say.
Yeah. So long story short, I'm gonna use a perfect example. So at the time I was coaching Pop Warner football, which is like junior high and about to go to high school kids. So they like 13, 14, right? And so I coached this kid. So he told me he's graduated from high school. I go to graduation. He says, Coach Mel. To this day, they still call me Coach Mel. It's like 15 years later, 18 years later. So anyways, he said, Coach Mel, I graduated high school. My parents want me to go to college. I really want to know, please be blunt and be honest with me. What should I do? I said, let me just tell you this. Because of what I know, I said, man, you go to college, you're going to be in debt. Your family's going to be in debt. Listen, go take up a trade. Yeah, I said, go take up a trade. You can stop making money now when you take up trades and stuff like that. And you can own your own business and start working. So that kid that I'm talking about, he's a grown man now.
Okay.
He's a master electrician.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Him and his mother got into business with each other. So they buy, flip, rent, and own property.
Oh, and he do the electricity.
So when his mother met me for the first time, she heard about me but never met me. So when she met me and we finally met, she cried on my shoulder like a newborn baby. No lie. She was like, yo, I got mad at what you told my son, but I'm happy you said that to him. And you were straight up honest. At the time, I didn't have my son. I didn't have my daughter at the time. So I told him, I'm going to tell you like I would tell my son if I had a son. Go take up a trade. Yeah, go take up a trade and stop making money. Stop balling out. Save your money. Be smart about it. So that's what I would tell the kids. Like, because I had to learn this. A lot of us, OGs, for lack of a better word, big homies, we can't stop. I don't want to use the YN word. So I would say the youngins, right?
Okay.
The youngins, the young homies, the youth, right? We're telling the youth not to get out the streets and all of that, but we're not giving them solutions. What is the point? So again, when I say the elders was talking to me and giving me game, they gave me solutions.
Yeah.
They didn't say, they didn't say, and that's one of my teachings too. I give solutions. So again, the example I just gave, when I told the young homie, you know, um, take up a trade to start making money and stuff like that, I gave him a solution. Why he should go to trading school, take up a trade instead of going to college. I gave him a solution. I just wasn't running, get out the street, don't do this, don't do that. No, I gave solutions. So a lot of us got to take accountability for the YNs. Of course, a lot of them is going to do what they do, right? My thing is, if I go talk to 15 children or, 15 teenagers, boys or girls, and, I saved 2 of them or 2 of them listen to me, I did my job. We're not going to be able to save everybody. And a lot of people live in a fairy tale world where they think the whole world's going to be kumbaya, and I don't live off of that. The world is always going to be chaos. There was chaos in the beginning of time. There's going to be chaos in the ends of times. You feel what I'm saying? So, But again, one of the things I'll tell the youth, if school ain't for you, because again, my parents being Caribbean folks, they told me and my siblings this. I got 3 sisters, 1 brother. They said, if school's not for you, you damn sure going to go to work. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go to work. You're going to make some money. You're going to save your money. You're going to buy a house. You're going to own property. You're going to find your niche. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find your niche. Whatever that is, and as you get older, you start finding yourself too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would say, but again, I would say to the ones that is into their academics, there's nothing wrong with being into your academics. Stay in school. But to the ones that don't,
right,
and don't care
right,
about
it's
school,
always something else. Yeah,
correct. Make sure you know how to read, because reading is fundamental. And my father used to pound that to us, man. Yeah, R.I.P. to my dad, man. He used to hit us with a lot of knowledge.
Shout out to
he was a man that spoke. Yeah, he was a man that spoke very. He didn't use too many. He didn't say too many words, but when he spoke, it was powerful, and you listened. So I would say to the ones that don't care about school, make sure you know how to read, because as long as you know how to read and you're good in, and you know basic math.
I was just going to say that. They need to know how to count too, but go ahead.
Correct. So you need to learn how to read, know how to, form sentences and stuff like that, articulate yourself when we're in front of these people, because talking hood ain't going to do nothing for you. And even though you said that I could swear on your platform in this interview, I still, want to talk a certain way.
Yeah, you limited yourself.
People might think I'm a square from Delaware. You know what I'm saying? But so be it. I know who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know who I am. Again, I have knowledge of self, knowledge of oneself. So it doesn't bother me what somebody think. You're an outsider. You could think whatever. I'm a square from Delaware, or I'm a straight dude a black dude from Idaho. Whatever. It doesn't bother me.
Come on, from Idaho. But does offering compliments instantly mean you're attracted to the person?
No, it does not. But some people do, some people take it that way sometimes. Because I'm a person, I give people, their just due. We're in a time where, if I'm saluting you, praising you, or complimenting you, an outsider might think that you and I are smashing. If it's a dude that I'm saluting and congratulating, the youngins will say, "Oh, I'm glazing him." You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, no, I'm giving him props, bro. That's what that is. I'm not glazing. I'm just using the words of what they're using now.
Right.
No, it's not. But people are gonna take it however they take it. As long as you and that person know what it is and what it's not, then who cares what an outsider thinks or say? You feel me?
Okay. Yeah. In your opinion. If a man is gay, is he gay forever? It ain't no coming back from that?
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean.
Did I catch you off guard?
If you're attracted to men, you're attracted to men. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know they got all these names. There's trisexuals. There's
we can just stick.
bisexuals.
Yeah, I'm like, we can stick to bisexual. That's been around for years.
Correct. I mean, I personally know people that's part of the community, and they had nominated me for an award because I'm open to learning about the community, and I just felt like I wasn't, I didn't, I like me, I'm a person, I just love knowledge. I love to learn. It doesn't have to be an interest of mine. I just want to know what it is and what it's not. That's just me. What somebody else eats doesn't make me shit. So again, salute to the community. I have my thoughts about some things that the community do, and some of them that I did have conversation with. For the most part, they don't. They rock with me on the fact that if you're projecting something, project it to the adults. When you're projecting it towards children, I have a problem with that. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what the government does, and that's where we see eye to eye on. So they saluted me for bringing that up in conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people that's part of the community that's on YouTube that do content, and I go on their platform. I don't care who sees me on their platform and Maybach Mel 1804 was on the gate. No, I know who I am. For the people that know me, they know. I love the opposite gender, so I don't get caught up in all of this, the semantics and all of this politics.
Right.
Yeah. I know who I am, and that's all that matters. I don't care what something look like to you.
Yeah.
I know what it is, and I know what it ain't. But so they wanted to nominate me because of the fact that they called me an ally. I wanted to learn. I'm not in the community. I'm not of the community, but I respect them and I salute them. You know what I'm saying? For coming out and being who they feel like they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yeah. But I just have my reserved thoughts about why are they pushing this agenda towards the children? Let the children live. If my son and daughter don't know what their next snack, what they want to eat, right? You can't tell me that they know they want to change their genders and their sex. Like, what are we talking about here? So
we talking about sex and food. Shit, if you gonna compare it like that. But I mean,
Correct.
That's that.
Yeah.
Do you recommend tough love?
Yes, I definitely do. I do that with my children, and I don't let the government tell me I can't spank my children or discipline them. My parents did it for me and my siblings. We came out fine. They told me not to use the word, but I'll use it for the lack of a better word. I'm the black sheep of my family. I'm the one that was out there. Yeah, I'm the one that was out there in the streets. I was the one wilding out. I'm the one that went to prison. I'm the one that, my parents saw what a courtroom looked like. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that was doing all of that. Even though I come from a two-parent background, my parents were super strict. I'm not going to hold you. They were fucking super strict, and I was like, oh, hell no. My second older sister's getting beat for going to the high school prom? What are we talking about, the prom? Yeah, so I'm like, man, when I turn 16, I'm going to do this. And that's why I wilded out. It wasn't because my mom's was raising me and my siblings and my dad wasn't around. No, my father was super active in our lives. You know what I'm saying? My father was super active. To give a little TMI, my father is my father and my youngest sister's dad. But my father raised all of us together. When they asked my dad how many children he has, he'd be like, I got 3 girls and 2 boys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, facts. So he showed me, again, going back to the question you asked earlier, what a man is without talking to me, without sitting me down and saying, this is what a man does, this is what a man does. He showed me by his actions. You know what I'm saying? By just even claiming my siblings that wasn't his. You feel what I'm saying? So there's other things that he did too to show me that he's a man, he's a boss and all that. But that's, we could do that for another day.
Right.
But I believe all children, tough love upbringing is good. I believe it. Not that I believe. I know. Excuse me.
Right.
It means to still be in doubt. I know.
Come on, speaking from experience. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And your favorite question: would you rather take that advice from that parenting coach with no kids, or the relationship advice from the coach that's single?
Do I have to pick one or the other, or can I pick both?
You want to go with both? You can go with both. All right.
I'll say both because going back to what I said, a few minutes ago, I love to learn, right? In order for us to evolve is being open to knowledge. So I feel like I can take information from, the coach a parenting coach that doesn't have no children. There's something that I can learn from the person that I didn't know about or my parents didn't teach me. Because again, being a parent doesn't come with a handbook. We don't get manuals to it. You know what I mean? You learn as you go, right? So, because grandmothers could give us advice, right? Grandfathers could give us advice. Great-grandparents could do the same. If you have your living parents, they could give advice. Homies that already are parents or not parents can give us advice. You know, someone told me they wouldn't listen to a fucking crackhead. And I thought that was crazy because the crackhead could tell you don't smoke fucking crack. Look where
Okay.
he's at.
All
You
right.
feel what I'm saying?
Everything's a lesson.
I'm open to learning. Yeah, I'm open to knowledge. So I would take advice from both. I'll say I'll take advice from both sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the people's favorite question, is it levels to snitching?
Oh shit. And we had a show on this too. Definitely there is levels because I put a lot of people on to. A lot of people don't know this. Some people do. There's confidential informants around the United States that gets paid salary and hourly. And if you look up, California's on this list because, again, I've been on a big platform, 300 plus subscribers, thousands of people. I'm talking about 10,000 plus was on this live. And I gave the host the information about every state and every city, what they pay hourly and annually. There's a lot of these CIs that is getting paid more money than people that work for the state and government. No lie. They are getting paid. Like I said, Massachusetts on this list, New York's on this list, Jersey. Washington is one of the highest. Washington and some other states. But yeah, the whole United States is covered. Got it covered. So there is levels. A CI is a CI. We should know that. Snitching, there's different levels to snitching. If you lead if you, all right, let's just, let me give an example, right?
Yeah.
Something happened to me, right? And I happened to call down 911, right? I dialed 911. And I called the police. The dudes who harmed me, I never put out their government names. Like, I actually know who they are, right? I didn't tell Popo their government names. And if they were wearing black, I said they were wearing white, right? I feel like that's not even snitching. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I did place the 911 call, but I didn't tell. I didn't get nobody arrested. This is what I was taught. Yeah. Snitching also deprives from, if you and I do a crime, so Lady Scrap and Maybach Mel do a crime. Lady Scrap gets away, but Maybach Mel gets caught. And I say, well, you came up with the plan, and you put me down. You know what I'm saying? That is fucking snitching. Because now I'm telling the police, who the hell you are, because you got away, but I got caught. I'm telling them that you was with me, you put the plan together, you set everything up, or if I got caught with guns, you gave me one of the guns that I got caught with. Yeah, that is snitching, because now you got away, but I'm telling the officers you were there and all this other stuff. So yes, that is snitching, definitely, because now I'm getting you, I'm having them pay you a visit to go arrest you and put cuffs on you. You know, so yes, there's levels to snitching. It definitely is.
Yep, it is. And people always just relate it to the adults. And I be wondering, like, why they don't put their kids in there. Because they definitely want their kids to tell them when something goes on with them. And we're all someone's child. So I just be wondering, like, why people be like, no, it ain't no levels to snitching. It's a snitch is a snitch. However, you know. I just said what I said. And you made it relevant, too. So, shout out to the both of us.
Yeah, let me piggyback this too off of your back, right? And throw this in there too. If you're in the streets and you calling, if you banging, you repping a set, and you call 911, that is definitely snitching. Now, if a regular civilian, someone who's never been part of the streets, not tied into no sets, not part of no street clubs, organizations, they ain't gang banging, they see a crime happen and they dial 911, we can't be like, oh, Miss Mary from, Johnston Road called the police. That's Miss Mary. Miss Mary was never part of the street. You feel what I'm saying? So that's not even snitching. Okay. Yeah, that's not snitching. So, yeah, we need to define that and put it into real context. Because a lot of people get lost in the sauce with it.
They do. Facts. I love that example.
Correct.
Definitely love that example. Is trust earned or given with you? Last question.
Is trust earned or given?
Yeah, you just give people your trust automatically, or they got to earn your trust?
No, I feel like they got to earn my trust.
Okay.
You know, but at the same time, we was taught that you have to give, well, not trust, but you have to give it in order to learn. Well, respect. I'm sorry, I take that back. Trust, yeah, they definitely got to earn it. Yeah. Trust, they definitely got to earn it. Yeah, you shouldn't just trust somebody like that. That was one of my downfalls, is being naive or shit like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. It happens to
Yeah.
everybody. I mean,
Correct.
everything's a life lesson. No harm, no
That's a
foul.
fact.
So yeah, I
That's
fully understand, fully get that.
that's a fact.
No
That's a
matter how
fact.
smart you
Right.
think you are, how slick, finessed, whatever the reason may be, manipulative,
Uh-huh.
every
Correct.
dog has his day.
Correct.
They also say that
Correct.
too. So yeah, I get that. That was made back May 1804, y'all. Wait, with the
Wait.
1804, I feel like I already know the answer to this question. However,
Uh-huh.
might as
Uh-huh.
well ask it. Is history beneficial to us?
I feel like, yeah, history is definitely beneficial when you find out, a historical event that actually took place.
Okay.
Right? Not his story. Yeah, not his story. So, real quick, because I know we're about to end it. The 1804 is from Haiti, right? Haiti got their independence. They defeated Napoleon, which Napoleon at that time was conquering all around the world, right? So when he came in contact and tried to, at the time it wasn't called Haiti, it was called Hispaniola, right?
Really?
So, yeah, it wasn't
No
called
wonder
Haiti.
they speak Spanish, or like Honduras be speaking Spanish. Okay, yeah,
Correct,
go ahead.
correct.
Go ahead.
And we also have Native American in our blood as well. When I say Native, because Taino, that's what we connected to. Taino tribe. Yeah, so Taino tribe, they settled in Haiti, parts of Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Yeah, so we all tied in. At the end of the day, I feel like, not to give a whole history lesson, but I feel like a lot of people, a lot of, Americans, have probably more Caribbean. If they have their blood samples tested, you probably be linked, because people be thinking the Caribbean islands such as Haiti, Dominican Republic is in a whole nother atmosphere. No, the same Atlantic Ocean, it's in the United States.
Yeah.
Matter of fact. You see what I'm saying? So we want to separate ourselves so much. Yes, I get the whole thing about Africa. That was because of Jesse Jackson from visiting Africa, came back in the 80s and said, oh, those are our brothers and sisters over there. And then that's why we ended up with the African American on applications and on documents and all of that. And they sold us the slave trade. Whether we believe in that, I don't subscribe to that anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't subscribe to that. You brought slaves over here. If I can't drive, Rhode Island's the next closest state, which is 30 minutes away. If I can't drive with some meat, right? When I say meat, like some steaks or whatever, it's going to go bad. I got to put it in the cooler. Yeah, how do you bring all of these human bodies from one side of the world all the way over here, and majority of them lived, nobody died, and you get what I'm saying? So when we start doing research and you start doing your homework and looking in, just certain things doesn't make sense, right? They said Christopher Columbus discovered stuff, but he was given a map. If you're given a map, that means it was already founded and discovered. It makes, again, I'm not trying to give a whole history lesson, but we got to just, we just got to see if the map is added up.
Pick and choose what we believe in,
Correct. So the 1804 prize from Haiti getting their independence, it really started around 1776, but the official date was on documents was 1804, and I stamped that real hard because Haiti liberated a lot of countries and doesn't get respect. It even helped America get the Louisiana Purchase. They tell us that in history. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's why if you go to New Orleans and Louisiana, they speak Creole. They'll say we Creole.
Right.
They adapt. A lot of the homes. A lot of the homes have the bright colors because it all comes back from Haiti and stuff like that.
Oh, that
so we tied in. And again, Haiti's
like
not
in
too
Florida.
far away. Yeah, that's why Miami is first, with being the first largest Haitian population. New York is second. Boston is third.
Really?
Super heavy. Yes, Boston is third.
I did not know that.
Haitian, Chicago was founded by a Haitian. I forgot his name, but Chicago was founded in Haitian. That's why they put a statue in downtown Chicago. This is all factual shit that I'm telling you. This ain't no opinions. To me, it's always facts over opinions and facts over feelings.
Okay.
So So Chicago was founded by a Haitian. They said he was a free slave at the time. So he settled in Chicago. Another thing, another gem I'll give you: the first millionaire from Wall Street was a Haitian. You know what I'm saying? So again, the people, the ones who know, they know.
Right.
But the ones who don't, the ones who don't know, they question shit. Nah, listen, man, these people whitewash everything. But yeah, Danny Glover said he's been trying to get them to do a movie on the Haitian Revolution with Hollywood, but Hollywood doesn't want to do it. Why? Because they can't have a white savior in there, and they got defeated. You see what I'm saying? Napoleon was from
Oh, that
Spain.
makes sense.
Yeah. So, but my thing that I would say to Danny Glover if I was to meet him is, bro, how many millions of dollars you made? Why don't you get some camera crew and you fund it yourself? If I interviewed, a gentleman last night who's a Haitian born and came to New York at 8 years old, you know what I'm saying? If he could fund his own movies and and do a deal with Tubi, you mean to tell me you can't get a good budget yourself? You feel what I'm saying?
I do. I get your point.
Yeah. So that's why I banged the 1804. And anybody that knows, just to let y'all know, Zoe is not a gang. Zoe really means bones in Creole. So if you hear anybody that is Haitian say, I'm a Zoe, that means they're Haitian to the bone. That's what Zoe means.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Now, there's a gang in Miami that's called Zoe Pound, right? They was being oppressed. They was being bullied. They was getting jumped by Jamaicans and Black Americans. So they band together. It didn't matter where from Haiti they came from. They said, yo, these dudes is jumping us. They 20, 30 deep jumping us. Even though I don't know you, you don't know me, we need to start up our own. So that's how Miami became the headquarters of Zoe Pound. There's also Zoe Mafia family. That's from Haiti too. But they also got chapters. So Zoe Pound got chapters all around the United States. I mean, I'm even talking about Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, where the people want to, know what it is. So just like Blood Sets got chapters, different areas that sanction, same thing with Zoe Pound. It might just be a different name, so they don't run with the Zoe. Yeah. But me, my crew that me and my homie started has no affiliation to Zoe Pound, but do I know the Zoes? Yes, I'm tapped in. When you official and you certified from your mama and your daddy, I ain't talking about Pollard Street shit. I'm just talking about when you authentic. Yeah, when you official like that, you rock with people. And this is what I wanted to say to you earlier to close it out, is I met Red Rum. He came out here.
Come on, you met the homie, yeah.
Yeah, Red Rum 781. And the funny thing is, we have an area code that is 781. You know what I'm saying? So, and just to let people know about the politics out here, we the same way me and you was talking about the Red Sox hat. Like for me not to wear it if I go over there, we wear a lot of team hats out here. So that's how you knew who was part of what gang. So there's a project called Academy Homes. They wear Atlanta Braves hat, right? The A for Academy Homes Project. Across the street, because it's an intersection that separates them and their enemy, which is Heath Street Project. Heath Street with an H at the end. They wear Miami Heat gear, right? So then you'll have another crew that's called Humboldt Raiders. They wear Raiders. So Boston is neighborhoods. The gang, the gang culture in Boston is neighborhoods, blocks, and projects. And what team are you wearing as your logo? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we're known for. Do we have colors out here? Yes. And I don't got to get into the whole, thing about the colors. Y'all should know. The blue, the red. Yeah, we have that out here, but it's not heavy like that. We're still on the neighborhoods, the blocks. That's been going on before I was born, and it's still going on to this day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so where New Edition is from, that's called Ultra Projects. They wear Trailblazers, the basketball team. That's their logo. So when you see somebody wearing something, so if I'm wearing Kings, oh, that's Norfolk. If I'm wearing Atlanta Braves hat, that's Academy Homes Project. If I'm wearing Heat Street, oh, that's Heat Street Projects, and so on and so on. So that's what that's our street politics out here. You know what I'm saying and stuff. But yeah, I met the homie. He came out here for a gang convention. Cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He was saying the same thing to me. He's like, damn man, I like your energy, bro. I like what you're doing out here. You used to be in the streets, and now you're trying to make change. You're trying to tap into the youth. That's what's up. Keep doing what you're doing. And he saluted me, and to this day I'll never forget him. I know he passed away. R.I.P. to him.
Yep, shout out to the
Rest
homie.
yeah, rest easy. So yeah, I got to meet the brother. And that's what I'm about, man. I'm trying to link up with anybody and not everybody, but people that's on my same type of time. You know what I mean? As far as like moving, whether it's the culture forward, whether it's trying to help the youth, creating basketball courts for the youth and stuff like that, creating outlets for them, like rec centers, so they could be in a rec center and out in the streets, basketball leagues, football leagues and stuff like that. That's what I want to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Like Tupac and Monster Cody had a great idea, but of course,
Shout
these
out to
people
them
don't
too.
want
And
to
it
be
seems
great.
like Mel is on the road, so I'm gonna go on and end it for him. That was Maybach Mel, y'all, 1804. Reach out to him on any and all platforms. It's the same name all across the board. Maybach Mel 1804. We got a problem with saying "oh," and we're speaking on numbers. That's the number. But we like to use the letter for whatever. So my bad. It's 1804. 1804 Maybach Mel. I think I'm going to name this Facts Over Feelings because I like that when he said that. Y'all, pass this around. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hoodchicks35@gmail. Stop jacking off in these inboxes. I don't give a damn. I appreciate y'all. Say bye to the people, Mel.
Salute, peace. I appreciate you. You already know. Anytime you need me, just holler at me.